Good evening, everybody. Happy Thursday. We are back with the Greenville GAB show. As you know, I'm Aubree, and we are here every Thursday night at 8 o'clock to answer your questions live and to bring you some fun, interesting information about the Greenville upstate area. So, if you've been around for a little bit, or this is not your first time, or it is your first time here, do me a favor and go into the chat box and comment and let me know where you are watching from, because it's always fun to know, okay, we have our Arizona crowd, a New Jersey crowd, people from Florida, everything. And it's something that we look forward to, or at least I look forward to it every single week. So with that, we have a couple fun things to chat about tonight because we are just it's that time of year here in Greenville where everything is starting to change. The days are getting shorter. The weather is finally starting to cool off. We had what we call here in the area your false fall. And we had beautiful weather for about a week where the temperatures only got into the 70s and 80s. It was in the 50s whenever you woke up in the morning. It was just fantastic. And then this week happened and we're back in the 90s. But I know that is nothing compared to some of you guys that I'm talking to. I have some people right now that are out in Arizona and they haven't seen temperatures below 100 in weeks. So I'm thankful that we are not like that, but definitely we are starting our descent into cooler temperatures and the fall, which is it's my favorite time of year here in the Greenville area. Not just because of the cooler temperatures, obviously that helps. And there's just so much to do. And there's a lot of things that I don't know, I look forward to every single year. So as we get started here, I'm going to tell you a little bit about my week, how things went, and what I'm seeing in the real estate market. So, before we kind of get into some of the fun stuff, I'll go through that. And I do have some information. I'm always looking for up-to-date information about, okay, is there new communities coming, or where are the new builds coming, or what's something really different that's happening here in the upstate that maybe I can let you know about here first. So definitely, I have a lot of people, a lot of you guys that are coming into town here in the next 2 to 3 weeks. And we're starting to plan these trips and trying to decide, okay, well, what are we doing and how are we, what are we going to visit? So on. So tomorrow is actually the second to last Travelers Rest Farmers Market that I will be at. There are farmers markets in Travelers Rest all the way through the end of September, but definitely I'm looking forward to it. It's a place where you can come by, you can say hi. I had a couple of people stop by last week, and it's just always fun to meet you in person. So I think that's great. And then let's see here. So this week in real estate, I think it's interesting. So across the country, I'm hearing of a little bit of a market slowdown, or the realtors I network with are like, where is the business coming from, or who's buying, who's selling, and what's happening, and are we in for another crash? And I'm watching, all of the financial institutions and the big financial guys. What's the stock market doing? Is that affecting things? We had a great live stream last week with my friend Brian, who is a lender. I felt like that was very beneficial for many people, going over what what we think how the election affects interest rates, and then ultimately, how does it affect the housing market? So definitely just good information there. And so after the stream last week and then throughout this week, I mean, we put a property up on the market over last weekend, multiple offers. It was really cool, but it's in a prime location. And that's probably one of the biggest things is if a house is in a prime location. So we're talking close to Greenville, Travelers Rest, parts of Greer, Simpsonville, if it's everything that somebody's looking for. So we had one of these, what I call just a unicorn property, and had 3 offers ultimately come in on it, and it's still only sold for the list price. So I've been having the conversation a lot here recently with people that even though we're seeing interest rates kind of sliding down, they are cooling off a little bit. I mean, as far as the market goes, there's more inventory. I'm hearing rumblings. I'm seeing rumblings of, are we actually headed towards a balanced market? And for you guys that don't know what a balanced market is, balanced means that we have basically about 6 months worth of buyer inventory, and then anything over 6 months is a buyer's market. So anything less than 6 months worth of inventory is a seller's market. I have also seen average days on market going up. So homes are sitting on the market for much, much longer. Not just, they're just not sitting on the market for like a weekend or so. It's normal for homes to sit on the market here now for 2-4 weeks before they're under contract. Recently, I've seen even in certain areas, homes taking upwards of 2 to 3 months average days on market to go under contract. So one of my big encouragements for people right now is, if you live in a hotter market, in a market that you're afraid you're going to put the house on the market and it's going to sell out from underneath you, is you can actually go and start looking at houses right now and then put your house on the market. If you're in a slower area though, for example, I have clients here in the area that are building, and I'm going, okay, so you're building, it's going to take about 9 months to build your house. So we're going to have to put your house on the market at about 5 to 6 months in to make sure that we have it under contract and ready to close. So it's very interesting. It's not the same type of market now. And I'm watching the amount of building that's happening here in the area, and what are we really going to see happen? This week it's been negotiating repair requests. It's been we've been training new agents, which you'll want to pay attention to, and I know you guys do, but like the newer long form videos that are coming out on Sunday in 2-3 weeks, I'll be introducing someone that will be in the videos with me on a more regular basis. So I'm excited about that. But this week was definitely like a maintaining week. But we also had more people reach out saying, hey, we're still considering moving. We're coming down for a trip over Labor Day, or we would love to actually be moved by October, November, right before the holidays. So all of that is happening right now. And we definitely have some decently what was I saying? We have more inventory, and it's going to work out well. So, all right. So with that, let's go over to the comments really fast. See who's over here. Hey, John, how's it going? Tom from Illinois. Would love to know where from Illinois, because that's actually where I grew up, in Southern Illinois. Can't tell if you guys can tell, I don't have a crazy Southern accent. Grew up just outside of St. Louis. Let's see here. Hey, Eric, how's it going? And Bob's here from Maryland. How's it going? Oh, and you're already hit me with a question this morning. Let's look. See here. Do you feel the house is currently coming on the market, lean towards being listed? Oh, this is such a great question to start us off tonight because I have lots of fun things to say. So do I feel houses are coming on the market, lean towards being listed overpriced or priced to get multiple bidders? Well, so here's what I'm going to tell you about this, because I feel like there's so many different schools of thought, and here's my experience. So the most important thing that we can do, that any realtor can do for a house, is to price it right. All right. Put it on the market, price it right. And if you want it to be sold fast, yes, you price it just a little below market value, and it's going to gain the attention and drive prices up. At the same time, a really nicely priced home in a good area should sell really fast, even with multiple offers, or maybe without multiple offers. Maybe they're just going to get one really great offer. And one of the things that we've been experiencing, and I say we because I'm talking to a lot of other realtors in my office. We're like, what are you feeling? Well, what are you feeling? And we talk about the market like this all the time. And we feel like there's less tire kickers. All right. People who just want to go out and look at houses for the sake of looking at houses. We're actually showing houses to people who really want to buy. So, and here's the other thing too. I am seeing severely overpriced homes as well. Just for example, an agent on our team had a home that his client loved, like has been watching this house for years, and it finally came on the market. Well, it came on the market at a price that they just weren't willing to pay for it. So they let it sit and they let it watch, and they watched it and said, okay, well, here's this house. We love this house, but we're not willing to pay that price. And then the price drop happened because eventually they do want to sell. If somebody really wants to sell, they're going to drop the price. And it got into their price range. Well, here's the thing. And here's the story behind like how we know that some homes are being overpriced. They took an offer on this house that was $100,000 less than the list price. And this wasn't like a multi-million-dollar home where that's kind of not necessarily the end of the world. This was I would say $400,000 to $500,000 house. And they negotiated and they negotiated. And they eventually came to a point where I was even surprised by where they landed on the price. It was lower than I had expected. And I'm seeing this across the board because I personally have 2 homes under contract for clients that are, one is local here, just moving locally. And then one is a relocation from Washington State. Both of these homes, we took low offers. And I'm talking, these homes had been on the market for upwards of 3 to 6 months. And we took offers that were $10,000 to $20,000 below list price. And one of them, I even took $30,000 below list price with closing costs. And they're both under contract for these low numbers, less than list price. And I've gotten both appraisals back this week. And those appraisals have about $20,000 worth of equity in them, which means, okay, the house's list price wasn't necessarily wrong. Okay. Because we're under contract much lower than that. So I'm interested to see what ends up happening. And, I don't feel like it's a depreciation of a market, but we are definitely in the upstate. We are seeing a readjusting of our market. We're not selling at 100% list price or 102% list price. Now we're selling more at like 96% and list price, or 98% of the list price. And that just means that we're negotiating more. So it's encouraging to me because that means that it's easier for buyers. That does mean, though, we have to be on our game on the listing side of things. Just for example, the team put up the cutest house online, and I'm going to be completely selfish and show you the house because it's adorable. But I'm also seeing people that have, and I'm going to address this in Sunday's video. So I'm giving you a quick sneak peek to what we're going to be talking about. But I have people that have moved here to the area and they changed their mind. And they're like, like maybe we don't actually like living here. Or maybe we should think about going somewhere else. And it's definitely not what I expected. I've had 2 clients in the last 3 months that have let me know, hey, Aubree, we moved here last year. You helped us buy a house. Great. But we're actually wanting to move to a different part of town now. And they're making money on their houses, which is great. We had a client close on Monday this week. Worked out really well. And we were like, okay, did it, done. They made about $30,000 on the house that they bought last year. So that's something that's really encouraging, I think, just about the Greenville real estate market. So sorry, I rambled, and I love this stuff. It's so cool to see. Let's see here. Hey, Jody, how's it going? You're planning on moving here in January. Wonderful. Would love to chat. Feel free to reach out to me or the team. Okay, and then Bob, let's go in here. How has the Greenville area's average days on market been running since it equates to a buyer's ability to put in lower than asking offers? So this is very locations centered. So you guys in the chat, I'll put Bob's question up here because I think it is really relevant to what's happening right now. So days on market is something that I'm watching very, very closely. If I see a home that has been on the market, say for more than 3-4 weeks, and it hasn't had a price reduction, we're going and we're taking an offer that's $10,000 to $20,000 less than list price. And even on the listings that I have, that, I allow it to sit on the market for longer at a certain price, I expect to potentially be a little negotiated on it. That doesn't mean that we actually have to do it, though. I have gotten offers on properties that they've been on the market for, say, like 3 or 4 weeks, and we get a list price offer. And I think in that case, it's just somebody who sees the value of the home and they're like, yeah, we just want to be one and done and not haggle a whole bunch. I'm having that happen. It feels very balanced right now. However, I don't know, like I have some houses that have been on the market, or even whenever I've taken I've taken a buyer out to a house and I'm like, okay, time to offer on the house and there's no other offers on the property. So my job is to get you the best deal, right? Just like my job on the other side is to make the most money for my client. So I've had both instances where for buyers, like I'm negotiating the price down. For sellers, I came back to one about 2 weeks ago and I said, look, we're bottom dollar number here. There's really there's not much room here to negotiate for closing costs, repair, so on and so forth. We have to get this number in order to sell it, in order for the sellers, the owners, to move on. And I've done that twice now. on homes. And we're starting to see that happening. There's still a nice amount of equity in the homes, but I'm seeing even some people that have a little bit more, they bit off more than they could chew a year or two ago. And now we're sitting here and it's time to sell the house. So with that, all right, John, what are you asking? Days on market for property been running about the same as homes, or is it shorter? So not sure I quite understand your question, John. So I know that's kind of silly, and it's probably because it's been a long day. But here's what I will say. Days on market is running longer for homes. And even like homes that I know will sell in one weekend, it's still taking 2, 3, 4 days to get that house under contract. Projects to build on. So like property to build on. So property, if it's ready to be built on, land sells very, very quickly. And it keeps its value. I don't see too many pieces of land that go through price reductions. Average days on market for land is crazy. Like sometimes you'll get, whenever I put land on the market, I'm just expecting it to be on the market for anywhere from 30 to at least 90 days. And then I've seen other pieces of property on the market for over a year. If it's in a more rural area or a place that, they're going to have to get a well, they're going to put in septic, it's kind of out in the boonies. The closer it is into town though, that land sells so fast. I actually have a friend of mine who was texting me earlier today about land to build on. So, and I thought of you, John, because I know that this is something you've been interested in. And I do have something that if you'd like for me to send it to you, I can. It's not on the market. It's just something that a past client of mine sent my way. It's right outside of Travelers Rest. Okay, with all of this, and I loved this, so keep the questions coming over in the chat box for me. But tonight we're just going to talk about, okay, you are coming to the area and you're like, Aubree, what do we do? And I found this website earlier this week and I thought it was so comprehensive. And then I also have a tool for you to use as you are planning your trips here. So with that, let's go ahead and I'm going to do. All right. So as you're planning your trip here, first things first is I want you to know that there are resources all over the internet to plan your trip to Greenville. So this one is from greenvillesc.com, and it's their quick getaway guide to Greenville. I thought this was really just cute. It was fun to kind of walk through it, that, they have different ways that you can, get discounts off. You can build your itinerary here. Your free things to do. Downtown is definitely something that you need to do during your trip. And just to experience as I'm not a Greenvillian, not somebody who actually lives here. So I feel like once people live here, you don't go out as much and you don't go do this fun stuff like this. But this whole website is about building your itinerary and booking your hotel. And I played around with it before the show tonight, and I was like, this is really cool. And I think you guys should totally use this. I also liked booking tours and experiences. I have to tell you about this too. So let's see here. Where's my mouse? Okay, here we go. So Greenville has I've just noticed these people, you know those, what are they? They're like these people that are on bicycles and they have, like a a trolley behind it or something like that where you can sit and they can, uh, take you from one side of town to the other, and they're all over Greenville, and I've wanted to try one out so bad, which I have an idea for, like, being able to do that, but it's just it's something cool that I noticed, and I wonder if you have to book it. I don't know. I'll let you know. So anyways, uh, definitely this Greenville itinerary, this Greenville things to do website here that is on visitgreenvillesc.com. This is also where I would recommend like finding your yes, Jody, like a rickshaw. That's the term. Um, they're new around Greenville and I've never seen them and they're like new this year. Which I think is really nice because I was talking to my husband. This has been an ongoing conversation with my husband about how Greenville is becoming this destination to come visit, to actually go and, take a quick, cute vacation. It's just kind of wild because Greenville hasn't always been like this. And it's fun because it's not necessarily people that are moving here, it's people that are coming to visit their friends who have moved here, or they're coming back to visit friends and family. So I don't want to like I know that there's a lot out there that, oh, everybody's moving to Greenville and, Greenville's awesome. Well, yes, Greenville's awesome. We're totally biased about Greenville. And I know a lot of people that just come to visit because Greenville's awesome. So with that, um, I loved it. So you're planning your trip, and I thought tonight's video, I really need to talk about the fall because the leaves are going to start changing here pretty much in the next 2 to 3 weeks. And it's going to be a blast. So I actually got emailed this article, and it's also from visitgreenvillesc.com. And I loved it. 10 ways to experience all things fall in Greenville. And I just want to chat through it a little bit to tell you guys, okay, like these are things you have to do. Like I do them and I live here because I love them so much. So the number one thing on this list is apple orchards. And if you didn't know, and just to kind of sideline apples for a second, South Carolina is actually is the largest peach producer in the Southeast. And I know that Georgia usually gets that rap, but South Carolina produces more peaches than any other state. So I know, tangent, random squirrel. With that, let's talk about the apple orchards and somewhere where, like, I'm going to help you know which one to go to whenever you come to visit. Because I think, oh man, people will really start going to the apple orchard starting like next week. And there's so many different varieties of apples. So I will tell you that the most popular orchards that you can go to is definitely Skytop. And I want to pull up Skytop's website. So it used not to be like crazy, crazy busy. Like back whenever I was in college, and we would go, it just is not a crazy busy place. However, let me show you this right here. These donuts. Okay. If you do anything, you go to Skytop for the apple donuts. They are amazing. Lines will be long, and I am here to tell you that it's completely worth it. But definitely going apple picking is just opening up this coming weekend and completely worth it. Another orchard. So my family, we love to go up to Justice Orchard. These places are only about 30-45 minutes outside of Greenville. And it's beautiful. There's things to do. Like they've really made a point, these orchards of having it. I don't know, it's just fun to go apple picking. So if you haven't done this, you need to. Um, I mean, food is my love language. So we have that. We have Justice Orchard here. Let's go back over here. So we have all of the different apple orchards. There's things to do. I think they're open throughout the week. They're much busier on the weekends, but you need to plan on doing it. And if you fly, just be prepared to eat whenever you go, I guess. And I do have to note, what's really nice is being able to go and get all of my apples for my apple pies, because that's my husband's favorite dessert. So other things to do here, corn mazes. So this brings up Denver Downs. Now, if you are a past client of mine, of the teams, then we actually do an event in October at Denver Downs. Now, what is Denver Downs? Denver Downs is this huge farm that has pumpkins and mums. They have a corn maze. They have a slide that is like, you go from top of the hill down a soaped up ramp. It is so much fun. But anyways, we do our team event every October. So if you're going to be here around then and want to come join us, just let me know. But it is something that we buy tickets for. You'll want to go. It's a lot of fun. Pumpkin nights. Like, I just feel like showing you pictures is the easiest way to show you, like, this is cool. And we'll probably do some video about it as well. But Denver Downs, again, just a lot to do, and it's very busy as well. But then you also have, they mentioned in this article, Stewart Farms, Strawberry Hill. Strawberry Hill has a fantastic, like, strawberry fields, which is something else that you do around here. I'd say this a lot. Like, we live outside. Like, you do life outside. Let me say it like that. Okay. Okay. So with that, just told you about Denver Downs, the outdoor dining. Gather Greenville is this really cool place downtown where the restaurants are built inside of shipping containers. So it's super cool. You sit outside. It's just lovely. It'll really start being nice to sit outside starting like next week. But this just goes through like all of the different restaurants that you can go, and they either have really great outdoor seating or they have this indoor outdoor space. I know like Camp and Nosedive, both of those are downtown, and they have these big windows that they open up that really just allow like downtown into the restaurant. I love it. Those are some of my favorite places to go. I'm a Greenville foodie, if you haven't noticed by now, and it's just fantastic. But this is actually a really great list on this article of just like some fantastic places to go. So there's that. Obviously, the farmers markets, and I talk about the farmers markets all the time. The last Travelers, and I thought it was so interesting and also sad because the Travelers Rest Farmers Market is not notated here, but they're they're keeping it Greenville based. So I get it, because the Travelers Rest Farmers Market is the #1 farmers market voted in the state. So come visit. But the downtown Greenville farmers market runs through the end of October, where all of the other markets kind of wrap up at the end of September. So again, September, October, just really nice times to be outside. I love it. The earliest we have ever seen like snow around here has been Halloween, but that was like forever ago. Okay, so haunted houses are not my thing. I don't do scary. But this is also something that I thought was just interesting. And this came up in, so if you like ghost tours or you like haunted houses, I did have this brought up, and I Googled it so that I could bring it up, but I'm not gonna it's called the Sunken Manor, and it's in Travelers Rest. And you guys know that I live in Travelers Rest. So I was just curious, and it's literally a house that is abandoned now. But it is haunted apparently. So that's one of the things that they say is things to do. Again, not my thing. Pumpkin patches. I think this really goes along with the apple orchards though. They're pretty much in the same places. Fall hiking. So we will start seeing all of the leaves changing around here probably in the next like 2 weeks. And we've had so much good rain, and like the temperatures have been pretty decent. We're going to get like the really bright yellows and bright reds and so on. Nothing. Correct me. So you guys that are watching from other parts of the country, I know that some of you don't get a fall at all and you're just dying for seasons. And I love that. Come to Greenville. But then there's like areas of the country, like my husband's from Pennsylvania, and that fall is just different. And I don't know how I can compare it from a northern fall to a southern fall, because I don't know, it's just they're both beautiful and fun to hike in and everything. But this is also something that I felt was very good and very like well put together, was where to hike. If you like doing that, or you're looking for an easier hike, or you just want to get outside while you're here, this has a very nice list of what I would consider easy places to go walk around outside and get a good feel for the upstate. Paris Mountain State Park is the closest one to Greenville. It's very, very easy. Like I could take my grandmother and walk around the little lake they have up there without a problem. But Jones Gap is very nice. Rainbow Falls, Caesar's Head, no problem at all. Okay. And then, okay, so this brings me to the fall festivals. All right. Now, this is something that there's some that are listed here, and then I've got more listed, and I pulled up my email so I could bring those up as well. So Oktoberfest, we're looking at different beer festivals around the area. Cook Station is a restaurant slash, like they teach cooking classes there as well. So that's really cool. Croc Center has a fall festival. And then the Bank of America Fall for Greenville. So this is actually where I found this article today, and I get lots of fun emails like this. So Euphoria is coming up. And this is like, it's based around wine and pairing wine with really great food. Then we also have Bourbon and Bacon Fest at the end of September. I've already mentioned Fireforge's Oktoberfest, which is a big one. Lots of different ones to do. But this one right here, it's actually not in September. It's all the way in, it is in October. But let's talk about Fall for Greenville, because if you're going to visit, then I really think you need to visit close or on Fall for Greenville. You're going to get a really good feel for just downtown and what it's like to be here during one of Greenville's main events during this season. So it's October 11th through the 13th. It's over a weekend. Yes, you're going to want to buy it's free to walk it, but you have to buy tickets if you want to eat or drink. So you can purchase tickets before you go. And it's a lot of fun. So one of the cool things is like there's so many places to eat around Greenville, okay? That over 50 restaurants actually come out and they set up tents and booths all around downtown Main Street, and they bring their food to you where you can kind of go, and it's the way it's served, it's not like full dishes. It's served in a way that you're like, you get a taste of their food and different things on their menu that maybe you haven't wanted to go and order a full plate of something if you're not sure you would like it. So that's kind of fun. And then it's music. So if you enjoy going and listening to good music, we have so many great local artists here that I think it's fantastic. But Fall for Greenville I've not seen something like this anywhere else in the country. So, and it's just because of my experience. I live here, but if they have anything like this where you are from, like I'd love to know about it. But this is one of the largest events of downtown Greenville that there is all year. And it draws thousands of people. So if you are interested in, okay, well, who are the musicians? Maybe I know somebody. They do have everybody kind of listed over here, the playlist here, and then the different restaurants. They have a whole list over here. And I'll probably bring this up every week until Fall Festival, just to remind you that this is something really cool to go to. And it'll be a really good idea of like, okay, well, what's happening here in Greenville, and getting a feel for like, what are the people like? And I will tell you, people in Greenville are kind. I say it all the time. People in Greenville are just nice. And I feel like the reason why that's happened is we just end up with people that have relocated from other parts of the country, and they're kind of sick of where they've lived, and even like some of the communities that they've been a part of. So I really do think it's interesting to get a feel for it. Like I guarantee it, like when you come to visit, you're going to spark up a conversation with somebody you don't know. It might be your waitress. It might be somebody walking the same way as you are down the sidewalk or visiting, or they have the same kind of lost look on their face too. But I will tell you that people in the area are kind. And if you need anything while you're here, reach out to me. Let me know. Me or the team would love to help you and offer our insight. And if you're coming to town and you're like, hey, we've never been, or we'd like to get more information, also let me know. Send me your address, because we have packets that we send out to people with all of our with a lot of information, maps. And I'm a paper person. Like, so much is done like this online, virtually. I'm like, shoot, give me a magazine. Let's go. Or a map. So that. All right. So I have one more thing to kind of wrap us up with tonight, and it's something I think it's particularly interesting to me as a realtor, but I think it's also interesting to you guys as people who are like, we like Greenville. Maybe you live here already, and you're like, do you want to stay, or maybe you're looking to relocate? So I found this article, and this actually just came out yesterday because the meeting was yesterday. So Greenville County approves nearly 400 new homes across 4 different projects. And of the 4 projects, only one of them had nobody contested it. The other 3, somebody stood up and said they didn't want it, basically, in layman's terms. So of these projects, there is so Owens Glen is probably one of the largest ones, and it's down in Piedmont. So for you guys that let me pull up our handy dandy map here so I can show you where Piedmont is. I think Piedmont's a really nice area that a lot of people overlook because we don't talk about it a lot, and it doesn't show up really well on a map. Piedmont does not have its own downtown. It is kind of off the beaten path from Greenville. So here's downtown Greenville right here. And then here's Piedmont. Now, here's the good thing about Piedmont. It's right here along main roads. So you have 20, you have 85 that runs through here. And then just, again, it's easy to get to. And Piedmont really encompasses this entire area right here. But what it's going to do is you're going to get a little bit further out. This is only 15 to 20 minutes outside of downtown Greenville. So just to put that into context for you, I can be in Greenville at my office, and then I can be down here in Piedmont within 20 minutes. I have a listing next week that's going live in Piedmont. And then they have one of the, according to websites and so on, they do have one of the top rated schools in the area. So I watch that because you may not have kids or need to be in a good school district because you homeschool or something like that. But I watch good school districts because that tells me how the area is. You're not going to have a high crime area when the school district is good. It's just that it doesn't correlate right. So it is something to kind of watch. But I noticed that, and so Piedmont's getting into another big neighborhood. And then we have 2 more townhome neighborhoods coming in. Now, townhomes are not bad, I think. I think more people should actually look into townhomes because if you're not wanting the yard work and so on and so forth, the maintenance, I think they're great. They usually have, community pools and somebody takes care of the outside. It's nice. They stay nice. They're also great investment properties. But there's 2. So Arbor Gate is one of the townhome neighborhoods. And then Reed Valley by Lennar is another one. Now, Reed Valley is just a second phase, and it's like going on to another neighborhood. And then Virginia Pines was the one that didn't have any active opposition on it. And it's because it was only 6 houses. So if that tells you anything, it's not really going to impact its area as much. So here it's definitely one of those things that I hear the concern from people who live here, that they're concerned that their infrastructure won't be able to handle it, that their schools won't be able to handle more people that living there, that our small town is going away. Well, it's not. It's really becoming something cool to be around and to experience. Um, so it is definitely, I'm watching for new neighborhoods. Now, these neighborhoods are easily 1 to 2 years out from even being like really started and, getting up out of the ground. And if there's anything we know, you know, about the upstate, it's growing and it's something where we need more housing. So not a bad thing on my books, but it is something that I watch because I also want to make sure, well, is the infrastructure keeping up? Is it going to add an extra 15 minutes to my drive home? So because I know this has happened in so many of y'all's communities, that you're like, well, we moved to, I'll just Florida as an example, because I've heard this story so many times. And you'll have to let me know in the comments if I'm telling it right. So people have moved to Florida and they love the area. They downsized there, retired there, and then it got big and the building kind of erupted and so many people moved to that area that it's just not fun to live there anymore. So we have people moving here, and I know the concern is that this is just going to be the same thing. Well, here's what I can tell you, and I tell you with a decent amount of confidence because I drive the upstate every week, and I know the area, and I know how much room we have around here whenever you just get out of the city by about 10-15 minutes. So I think we're keeping up with it well. And I like to watch, what's being built, what's being asked for approval and so on. And those things are important. So all right. Well, with that, I'm going to go ahead and wrap up. It's been a nice night. Thanks for coming on and enjoying. I always enjoy seeing you guys over in the comments. It's a blast. And if you're looking or if you're coming here in the area, have any questions, reach out. Me and the team would love to help. It's kind of our jam. And we have some really fun stuff coming for you guys in the next couple of weeks. So have a rest of your evening, a great Labor Day weekend. Everybody stay safe. And I will talk to you guys next week, same time, same place. See ya.